Oh,
All
wow.
right.
That went fast. Okay, now I'm getting more nervous.
Don't be nervous. We're live now. And trust me, you are in good hands, I promise. I can talk as much or as little. Okay, my people know that I can talk and talk and talk. But it's not about me. Today and every day we celebrate Black History Month. But specifically this weekend, I am here to edify and glorify other Black business owners. And I'm very excited to speak with the ladies of Evolve and Bloom Therapy. And they provide speech and language therapy, tutoring, caregiver coaching. I love a caregiver coach. Y'all have heard me talk about coaches, but specifically caregiving coaches. Books, we got books. Y'all know I love books and other educational resources. They offer in home or telehealth speech and language therapy services to residents in Texas and Massachusetts. So, thank you, ladies, for being here with me, for allowing me to showcase uh, you and what you have to offer. And you guys that are listening right now, please give us a heart, a like, a comment. Let us know that you are here. I am going to be giving away a book to someone that engages with us tonight. So let us know that you're here. And with me saying that, whoever wants to start speaking first, just tell us a little bit about you and Evolve and Bloom.
Hi guys, I am Waneka, but you can call me Neka because it's definitely easier. I am part. I'm one half of Evolve and Bloom. I have been a speech pathologist for a little less than a year. Donalyn is my supervisor. We started Evolve and Bloom in April. I met Donalyn in college, so she became a mentor, and I figured who else to go into business with than my mentor. So
You're so sweet. Hi, I'm Donalyn. I'm a speech language pathologist as well. I'm based in Texas. Let's see, I've been a speech language pathologist for about, I think I'm going on 7 years. Before then, I was an assistant in speech language pathology. I've worked in the schools, skilled nursing home facilities, home health. And right now I'm doing a lot of teletherapy, so telepractice.
Okay. And I'm assuming the telehealth is due to COVID.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it started off because of COVID by default. Well, I was interested in telehealth, but by default, we started doing a lot of virtual therapy when the pandemic started. And that's when Waneka came around and she was like, hey, would you be interested in starting a private practice? Because I know you mentioned doing telepractice before the pandemic started. And so that's how we kind of started our practice. She has her individual skill set, and so do I. And merging it all together, that's how we came up with Evolve and Bloom, being able to provide speech therapy services, tutoring. That is Waneka's, that's her thing. She's a great tutor. So it's been great to see everything bloom from the beginning.
I love it. Evolve and Bloom. Okay, so I like to just ask, and you've answered a little bit of it already, but what made you, what was the need and what made you start Evolve and Bloom? I mean, I know you've already answered it a little bit, but what was the need for, what need did you see to initiate starting your practice?
Mhm.
And either one of you can.
So like Donalyn mentioned, I have always tutored like throughout grad school. And what I kept finding out were there were kids, especially kids like in a community. For example, I am African. I started to notice like most kids who either spoke a second language or immigrants, they kind of struggled in school, not because, and they wouldn't qualify for services. So that's when I started tutoring. And then I noticed parents would kind of hire me just because I had this speech background. And it's like my child may qualify for services, but they can't meet the requirements to get the services. So then the pandemic happened, like Donalyn said. I did end up having so many clients just because kids were suffering from virtual learning and just doing the work without the assistance and couldn't get access to services. So, and, like I said, it was mostly kids in our community. So I reached out to Donalyn and she, the same thing that we needed to, kind of step in and help out. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. For me, before I started the private practice, I was doing travel therapy. So I was being sent to different areas throughout the country pretty much. And a lot of these areas had a hard time staffing speech language pathologists. So on my last assignment before the pandemic hit, I was thinking like, well, if there was like a virtual component where we were able to reach like these areas that needed speech language pathologists, that would give, kids and families a better opportunity to find a speech language pathologist. So that's kind of how I started thinking on my last assignment, was being able to work in multiple states and provide those services so that families will have access, because when you get to certain areas throughout the country, if there's really small towns, they have a hard time contracting different therapists, because most therapists are usually in the Metroplex or something. And those small communities end up having to pay a lot of money to contract out and bring in those therapists.
It's just something I've never thought of. That's very interesting. And NECA, I mean, definitely something I never would have thought of, because I don't come from, it's a multiple bilingual or multiple linguistic household to even worry about those type of things. That's very interesting that you bring up that point, and it sounds like that you guys are giving kids and others the opportunity to receive the help that they need. And you're kind of filling that gap where people falling through the cracks, but you're kind of filling that gap for them. If I'm hearing you right.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's great. So how long has Evolve and Bloom been in business, I guess, if you could say it that way?
We're still less than a year. We started seeing clients last June, and I think we were official the beginning of April. So we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary.
Oh, yay! I love it. What has been your guys' biggest challenge?
I would say just like running the business, like the business aspect. We know the therapy part, tutoring part, because we have the skills, but it's just, I don't know if I should say like the steps in the business, if there's anything like that, but it's just like figuring things out on our own. I think for me, we probably didn't sit down and think through it, like, hold on, we need to do this, this will require. It was just like the excitement and we kind of jumped into it, but we're still figuring it out, and I'm happy with where it is. So
yeah,
sure. So
I would
how
agree.
does it work with you being in Massachusetts and you being in Texas? How does that work?
Well, we meet frequently. We talk almost every week, whether it's texting or calling each other. But yeah, we have scheduled meetings where, we discuss the business, we discuss our clients, and I feel like with good communication, we're able to, get through these challenges together.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that communication has to be wide open, I'm sure,
Right.
and transparent.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I think Donalyn and I just having the same goals for the business has been great. I feel like even when one person has a different goal, we kind of come together and meet in the middle on how
Mm-hmm.
to run things. So I think the fact that we have the same goal makes it easier to run.
Sure.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that way there's no tension or I want to do this, but you want to do that type
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, that kind of answers one of my questions I wanted to ask you guys about what advice you would give to newer entrepreneurs, especially Black entrepreneurs. I think communication's huge and figuring out what the heck you want to do before you all the way jump into it. Some
Yeah.
of us do that though. We jump before we look, and it works for some, and some you maybe should have researched a little bit more. But what advice would you give to someone that's wanting to start a business this year?
I would say it's pretty much what Nika said earlier. Make sure that you have your goals listed out. And when I say goals, I'm talking about like short term, within a few months, all the way until like a few years from now. I think we had a very clear vision that we wanted to expand and reach as many states and small communities that we can. So that helps to um, to know the vision and the mission, or keep those in the back of our head whenever we are, moving forward as a business. So having a clear list of your goals is definitely something that I
Sure.
would recommend to other entrepreneurs starting out.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So that way, even I feel like as you're working on your goals, and you can always look back and say, "All right, I did that," or "I still need to do that."
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that look like for you guys? Do you do you guys do a lot of like goal setting and vision boards? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, we write out our goals during the meetings, and we always go back to them at the end of our meetings to make sure we're on track.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donalyn is very good with that. She lays out the goals, like the one who goes with the flow. But I'm glad she like lays out the goals and
Yes.
holds me accountable. So that's good.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Waneka.
I'm glad you did
Fill in
that.
your goals.
I am
That's
very
okay.
glad. And just to add on to what she said, I think just being aware of your goal or what your reason was to go into the business is important. Like, was it passion? Was it more of making money? Because I think passion is important. They're going to be
Yeah.
days that it will get hard. Are you going to stick on or hold on because of the passion? If it's about making money, you might be like, okay, I'm done with this. But, I don't think it gets easier. It's just your way of, your hard work,
Yeah.
how determined you are that will get you far. So
That's so true.
Yeah.
You, determining what is your why, like what is your
yeah,
purpose, what is your passion, uh, is definitely helpful, and will keep you getting like Shirley um, said earlier today. It'll get you out of bed.
Yes.
I remember when I worked for a big uh, grocery chain. I did not want to get out of bed to go to that place. but now that I'm walking in my purpose, I love to get up and see who else I can help. And I feel that vibe from you both. Like you're excited about what you're doing and you love what you do. I mean, we all have our bad days, right?
Yeah.
But when you love what you do, it overshadows the bad days, I think. So tell me about your books. I didn't realize you were an author too, so I'm excited. I love talking to authors. I am like cheerleader for other authors. Let's go. I want to talk about it.
So it's all still new. Sometimes I have to remember, but it is called ABC Voyage to Africa. I actually have a copy right here. It is so all the letters are centered around countries in Africa. So A is for Africa, obviously. B for Botswana. So once you get to like I guess each page, it kind of tells you a fun fact about the country and even like places to visit and how to say hello in a language or two. So just in case you go up there, you're able to communicate with the people. So yeah.
What is that? And where can we find it?
I'm sorry?
Where can we find it?
Oh, it is on Evolve and Bloom website. It's also on my website, wanekaudeka.com. And it's also on Amazon. So
okay. I'm typing in our chat now so that people can find it because they're listening now or later. All right. That's great. And well, I have one of your books here.
Yes. So I actually I want to talk about the one that I have for Evolve and Bloom Therapy.
Oh my goodness.
It's called Positive Affirmations, and it is for children. It's a coloring book, but they can also read different affirmations. So this one is I can learn new things. There's a lot of different affirmations for kids. I include children with all disabilities in this book. Well, not all, but some disabilities, because I wanted to represent all children and for them to be inspired that no matter, their limitations or any personal setbacks, that they can achieve whatever they want to achieve in life.
Wow.
So this is also on our website, evolveandbloomtherapy.com, and my personal website, which is DonalynAllen.com.
I love that. Okay. Ma'am, how many books do you have?
I have a few. So this is my coloring book. And then the one that you have, I have an angel watching over me. This is one of my personal journals and coloring books. I was inspired to create that book because of my own personal grief, losing my mother at a young age, and then also losing my great grandmother when I started college. So I've used a lot of those prompts to remember them, to remember our special times. It was really inspired by my mother because she was also a writer. Well, she had a lot of journals, like personal journals, and many of her entries were like about me, my milestones, pretty much things that she wanted to remember about me or her hopes for me. So this book is almost like reverse, like these are the things that I would want to tell you, things that I remember about you. And it's just a healthy form of self-expression for me. Especially with like my ongoing healing. So all of my journals have like a personal connection with some life experience that I've been through.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I think it makes it more special, right?
Yeah.
And it's healing too, coming from a pain point. I know about that, but gosh, I want to get all the coloring books and I'm like thinking I could buy Nick's book, but I might want it for myself instead of giving it to some little kid. Let me see
It's okay, Ashley. I'll send you a copy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to share it. I'm going to be honest.
I actually have a friend that's a high school teacher, and she said that they love Waneka's book, even at the high school level. So that's awesome.
Okay. That's awesome. Have you tried to get it into the school system?
I am trying, so I'm welcome to ideas and tips if you know how to get it there faster. But yeah, it's a goal for this year to get it.
Email them each week. Get on their nerves and you just say, okay.
Right.
All right, we've heard enough. We'll put it in there, okay? Oh, that's great though. I love it. So when someone says that excuse me, that we are becoming or we have become our ancestors' wildest dreams, what does that statement or phrase mean to you? Because our ancestors fought so hard for us to get to different points in life, like becoming an entrepreneur, becoming an author, becoming a therapist, all of these things that weren't so decades ago even. But now that we can walk in this new light, what does that mean to you both? If I'm making any sense.
I would say for me, I think about it that I am where I am because my ancestors paved the way for me. I've been able to follow their lead and, kind of, I'm going after my dreams. I'm able to get to this with the skills and hard work and opportunities I believe they created for me to get to these goals. So that is what it means to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For me, it is celebrating. It's an ongoing celebration. And when I think of celebration, I'm thinking of our achievements, our healing, the obstacles that we've overcome. So it's celebrating all of that and making really good choices that they were not able to make so freely. So continuing, like Waneka said, continuing, the opportunities that they were not granted because of them just, paving the way and going on each day, even when it was hard. We wouldn't be here without them for just continuing to fight. So I feel like it's our obligation to continue everything that they started.
I love that. What else can we say? You both just said it so eloquently. Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing else I can add to that. So please let us know, let the listeners know what you guys are working on currently, what you may have coming down the line. I just want to give you the last couple minutes to let the audience know what you're working on right now, what you got coming for us.
Well, we have some programs in the works for this summer focused on speech, language, and literacy. So we're hoping to implement those by this summer and provide in-person and virtual options to the families and the children in our communities and hopefully throughout the country if we get there.
When?
Yeah, when we get there. Yes. Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah. I think we just keep creating more educational resources and, writing more books and yeah.
I like that. Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much. I've been dropping your links throughout our discussion, your website, Instagram, Facebook, um, and your book names, titles, and where to find them. And let me just make sure no one's asked. Miss Shirley was commenting a lot, but I know she's in bed now. She's in London, so.
Oh,
But she said um, to the both of you, if you need any support or bounce ideas, she would love to connect with you too. Um, I had her on earlier today. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. Um, and let me see who else has popped on. Okay. Yeah. Um, I will say when I didn't know how a speech pathologist was until my husband had to use one because of where he had a rare cancer and where it was placed really damaged his nasal cavity and mouth and jaw. So he had to see a speech pathologist to work with his mouth and just even doing like different exercises with just opening his jaw and saying different things. And I didn't even know what they were or how important the job was until he had to see one. And so thank you. I said all that to say thank you for what you are doing. It is very necessary. Your services are amazing. And I just thank you for coming on tonight with me and sharing what you do with my audience, and keep on going. You know, you got 2 states down. Let's see what other states you can tackle.
No, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashley.
We do
Yeah, of
appreciate
course.
you.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much, ladies. So you guys can follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Evolve and Bloom Therapy. Their website is evolveandbloomtherapy.com. You guys go follow them. Make sure you are in the know of what they are doing. Some of their services are virtual, but they are located also in Massachusetts and Texas. So um, just be on their list, be on their email list, be on their social media to see what's happening next. Okay. So thank you, ladies, again. I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast, but you can stay on.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.